Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the CodeIgniter blog freestyle coding series. In the last video we set up CodeIgniter. We created a pages controller with some views so we could add static pages. We also created a post controller. We created a model, a database table for our posts, and we made it so that we can list them on the post page, and we can also click read more and we can read the individual post. So what I want to do now is make it so that we can add them through our application. Alright, so let's go to our post controller, and we're going to go down here and let's create a function called create. And for right now, let's just take that. We'll have a title, and then we'll take all the views and we'll paste that in, and let's change this to create post, and let's load post/create. Alright, and then we're going to go to our views folder, posts, and we're going to create a file, save it as create.php, and let's put an h2, and we'll put title. Okay, now we're going to want a route for this, so let's go to config routes and copy that, and we'll say post/create. That'll go to post/create. Whoops. Posts. Okay, so that didn't work either. Post/create. Alright, you know what? Let's actually put this up at the top so that it sees that first. There we go. Alright, so create post. Now we need a form. Let's just grab a form from Get Bootstrap. Alright, so we'll grab this, and let's go and paste that in here, and then we're going to change this stuff up. Get rid of the for attribute and the label, and this is going to be title, and let's make it a text. Get rid of the ID, placeholder, we'll say add title. We also want to give it a name. Okay, we're going to give it a name of title, and then the next field is going to be for the body, and that's going to be a text area. So we'll change that, and that has to have a closing tag. For the placeholder, we'll say add body. We don't need an ID, but we do need a name. The type is going to be, actually we don't need a type because it's a text area. Okay, and then we'll get rid of this and this, and let's take a look. Now I want to use the form helper, so let's go ahead and add that to autoload. So right after URL, we'll say form. Alright, and then back in the create, instead of using a form tag like this, we're going to say PHP echo form underscore open, and we want to pass in here post/create. Okay, and then down here we want to, actually we'll just keep that, that's fine. Let's make sure that it still shows up, And if we look at the source code, you'll see that the form action goes to post create, and it's a method of post. Now we want to set up form validation, so we need to put in our template a place where the errors can show. So we're going to go right above the form, and we're going to say PHP echo validation errors. Just like that. Alright, and then we're going to go back to the controller, to the create method, and we want to load the form validation library. We could do it here, but I'm just going to do it in the auto load. So where it says libraries, we're just going to put in form validation. Okay, we'll save that. And now what we want to do is create our rules for validation. So let's do this form validation, and we want to use set rules. Okay, so this is going to be a rule for the title, and then we want to put basically a readable form of the name here. So we're just going to put an uppercase T. And the rule that we want to set is required. Okay, it has to be required. And we're going to do the same thing for the body. Alright, now what we want to do is check to see if the validation has ran. So basically if the form has been submitted. If it has, then we want to move along and call a model function to insert. So we're going to put an if statement here, and let's say this form validation run. Okay, so we're going to say if it's equal to false, so if it doesn't run, then we just want to load the template. So we'll just copy or cut that out and put that up here. Alright, and if it does run, that means the form submitted. Then we're going to call, and if the form submitted and the validation is passed, then we're going to say this post model, and we're going to have a function called set post. Alright, and then we want to load a success view. So we're going to say this load view, and then we'll pass in here post slash success. So let's save that and reload this page. Okay, so it's still giving us the form. It's doing this because validation hasn't ran. We haven't submitted the form. So before we submit the form, we need to create the set post. Okay, actually let's call this create post. I think that makes more sense. Okay, so now we're going to go into our model, and we're going to create that. Now before we actually insert into the database, we need to create the slug. Okay, so slug, and we want to wrap this in URL title. Okay, and we're going to pass in this this input post. This is how we get the form values, and we want the value of title. Alright, so we're just wrapping the title in this URL title function, which turns it into a slug. Alright, then we're going to create an array called data, and we're going to pass in title, and we want to get that from the form. So again, we'll use this input post title. Alright, and then we also want the slug, and that's going to come from that slug variable that we just created. And then of course we need the body, which will come from the form again. So this input post body. Okay, so there's our array, and we just need to pass this. We're going to say return this db insert. Okay, so we want to insert. We need the table name, which is posts, and then we need to just pass in the data. All right, and that should create the record for us. So let's save that. Okay. And actually, you know what? Instead of doing a success page, we'll just load the index. Let's copy that. Okay, so we'll just paste that in. Or you know what? We'll do a redirect. So if I remember correctly, we can just say redirect, and we'll say, let's see, where do we want to redirect? Posts slash, actually just posts. I think that'll work. So let's save it. Alright, so let's go back and let's test this thing out. Okay, so post slash create, and let's say post, actually you know what, let's try submitting it without the data first. And there's our errors. The title field is required, body is required. If we just do the title, we get body. Good. So let's say post 3. And we'll submit. And there it is, post 3. Now I'd like to have the latest up top. So I believe if we go to post model and to get posts, let's see, I think we can go up here and then just say this db and then do order underscore by. Okay, we want to order by ID, and let's see, desk. Let's also, yeah, that should do it. So let's go ahead and reload, and now we have post 3 up at the top. Now I want to be able to delete them as well. So on this page here, I want to have a delete button. So let's close all this out for now. And then we'll go to, let's see, views, posts, view. And let's go down at the bottom. We'll put an HR here. And I think what I'm going to do is, instead of having a link that goes to a GET request, which is extremely unsafe, we're going to have a form with just a delete button. Alright, actually let's use the form open. Alright, so this will go to /post/delete, and let's do slash and then the ID. So I think we should be able to concatenate post ID. Alright, and then we're going to want input type button or submit value delete, and let's do class btn-danger. Okay, so now we have a delete button, and if we click it, it goes to post delete 3. Okay, let's make sure that's the method is post, which it is. Alright, so now we're going to go to our post controller, and let's say public function delete, and we should be getting that ID as a parameter through here. So let's do echo ID. Okay, so there it is. Now we're going to call this post model, and we'll say delete post. Okay, and we'll pass along that ID. Now we'll go to the model, say public function delete post, takes in the ID, and let's do this DB where. Okay, so I want to say where ID is equal to ID, and then this DB delete, and then the table name, which is posts, and then we'll return true. Okay, so let's go back here, and then let's redirect to posts. Alright, so hopefully this works. Not exactly sure if it will. So blog, let's say post 3, click delete, and it's gone. Cool. So that was pretty easy. Now let's do an edit. So we'll put an edit button as well on the view page. Okay, now for this, we're not going to do a form, we're going to do a link. Okay, so that's going to go to posts/edit, and let's do slash and then the ID, which will be this. And let's give this a class of btn default. Alright, now I want it to float. So let's do class, I think we can do pull left, see what that does. No, that doesn't work. I could have swore that's a bootstrap class. Actually, let's add to the what if we put it on the other side? There we go. Good. So that's going to go to posts, edit, and then the ID. So let's go and add that over here. Public function edit, and that'll take in the ID. Now this is gonna we want to load and edit view, so let's go to views, posts, create a file, we'll call it edit.php. Okay, and let's copy everything we have in the create for the edit. Okay, we'll save that. And now back in the controller, we're going to copy what we have. Let's see, we're going to copy what we have in the view because we need to get the post as well as display the form. So let's copy that. And we're going to get the post here. We're going to check for it, send to 404 if it's not. And then for the title, I'm just going to have the title say edit post. Alright, and then we want to load post/edit. Okay, we'll save that. Alright, you know what? This isn't going to work actually because we're looking for a slug right here. So, I mean, I guess we could pass the slug instead of the ID. Yeah, let's do that. So, slug, and then we have to go back to the view right here and change this to slug. There we go. So now we want to put the values in the form. So we'll go to edit PHP, and let's say right here value equals PHP echo, and we should be able to do post title. Okay, we'll grab that and then put that down in the body and change the title to body. There we go. Now I want this to be submitted somewhere else. I want it to be submitted to post/update. Alright, so let's go over to our controller and we'll add in public function update. And for now, let's just echo submitted. Post/update. Alright, so I think we need to add a route for that. So let's just copy this. Say posts update. Now this is going to be, let's see, we want this to go to post/update. And it's going to be a post request, so I'm not sure if that will do. Let's go ahead and try it. Okay, so it does work. All right. So let's go back to the controller, and now that's getting submitted. Now we want to pass along the ID as well. So what we'll have to do is pass that as a hidden field. So let's go right here and we'll say input type equals hidden, and name is going to be ID, value is going to be the actual ID, so we want to say echo post ID. Okay, so we got type, hidden, name, ID, value. I think that should do it, so let's go ahead and save that. And then in the controller we want to call our model function. So this post model, and we'll say update post. Okay, let's save it, and then inside our model, let's say public function update post, and I just want to test to see if we can get the ID. So this input post ID. Alright, and then we'll just kill the script. Okay, reload, submit. Okay, good, so we're able to get the ID. So now we just need to do our update. So we want to create an array just like we did in the create. Okay, so we can get the title, the slug. Yeah, I guess, you know what, I guess we'll do that as well. We'll grab that. But the slug's not gonna, we're not gonna be able to edit the slug directly. We can edit the title and then change the slug based on the title. Alright, so then we have that. And then let's copy this, change it to update. Okay, except we need to include a where clause, so let's grab that. And where ID equals this input post ID. Alright, so hopefully that works. Okay, so then after that, we just want to redirect back to posts. Alright, let's try it. Okay, so let's see, we want to edit post 2. Let's click edit, and we'll just add right here, this has been edited, and submit, and this has been edited. Alright, so our application can now do full CRUD functionality, create, read, update, and delete. Now we're going to want to link to create a post. So let's go to our, we'll go to our header, and I'm going to go under this UL and put another UL. We'll give it a class of navbar dash nav, and then also navbar right. Okay, because I want this to be on the right side. And let's just copy that. And this is going to go to base URL posts/create. Okay, we'll change this to create post. Okay, so now we have a link to create post. So what I would like to do now, before we end this part, I'd like to have an HTML editor, because right now we just have a regular text area and we can't really do much in terms of formatting and all that. So let's look into CKEditor, and I haven't used this for a long time. So let's see, we're going to go ahead and download it. We want the standard package. And it looks like we can just use the CDN, so let's grab that. Okay, we'll put that in our header. And I'm just going to add right here, http:// Okay, let's make sure we have no script errors. Good. Now to use this, let me see if I remember. I haven't used this in a while. I think we just have to add... Actually, let's take a look at the documentation. Let's see. Editor samples. Okay, so let's look at this. Alright, so we included the script, and then I think we just need to add this right here, CKEditor.replace, and then I think an ID. Alright, so let's copy that, and we're going to put this actually in the footer, right above the ending body, and let's change this to... Actually, editor1 is fine. So we'll save that, and then we should be able to go to our view, which is our create, and where we have our text area, we'll add the ID of editor1. Okay, so let's go back and reload, and there we go. We now have a text editor. Awesome. So let's create a title. We'll say post 4. This is a new post using the CK editor. Let's try to bold, and CK editor will make that italic, and you can view the source code as well. That's cool. What else? Paste, different font formats. Let's say this is a heading. And submit. Okay, so now we can format our text using that editor. So we also want to be able to use it in the update. So let's grab that editor1 ID and go to edit and paste that in here as well. So that way when we go to edit, we also get the editor. Get rid of that, submit. Awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. There are some other things I'd like to do. I'd like to add comment functionality. I'd also like to implement a user login. So I will look into that. I'm not going to get to it right this second, but hopefully I will soon. So please leave a like, subscribe, whatever you can do. I'm also going to leave a link to my PHP Frameworks project course at Eduonics. I think it's 10 projects using frameworks like CodeIgniter, Symfony, Cake PHP, and so on. Alright, so I would suggest that you check that out as well. Alright, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.